Welcome to College Sport Check Basketball, presented by Long Island's Community Radio, CommunityRadioLI.com. Click the College Sport Check button. Scores and schedules, but first we'll take a look at the scorers. And here is the College Sport Check Basketball scoreboard, starting with Valparaiso defeating Alabama 68-60. Gardner-Webb over Toccoa Falls 103-53. Bradley over Wolford 70-62. Richmond defeats Hampton 65-52. Boston University over Western New England 91-54. Georgia State defeating New Jersey Institute of Technology 74-53. Oregon over Tennessee 69-65. George Mason over Kent State 79-75. Eastern Kentucky over Idaho State 91-82. Colorado defeating Texas 68-54. Connecticut over Chaminade 93-82. Vermont over Hofstra 87-73. Kennesaw State defeats Alabama State 79-72. Auburn over Texas Tech 67-65. Massachusetts Lowell over Mississippi Valley State 76-71. St. Bonaventure defeats Central Michigan 102-71. Notre Dame over Northwestern 70-66. Bryant defeats Louisiana Monroe 64-57. Man, I was watching that Notre Dame and Northwestern, and I was kind of pulling for Northwestern, man. They had a nice little 10-point lead, man, and they wound up losing that game. That game was played at the Barclays Center. I think it was the Legends Classic Brooklyn Hoops. Some other scores from from Tuesday. Virginia defeating Grambling 90-34. Syracuse over South Carolina State 101-59. South Carolina Upstate defeats Charlotte 108-103. Florida Atlantic defeats South Florida 78-62. Mercer over Radford 58-47. North Carolina Asheville over Furman 64-58. Binghamton defeats Ave Maria 95-77. Pittsburgh over Yale 75-70. Boston College defeating Towson 80-70. North Florida defeating Florida National 112-66. Maryland over Stony Brook 77-63. East Carolina over Florida A&M 82-62. Akron defeats Georgia Southern 75-67. Youngstown State over Westminster, PA 97-67. Holy Cross defeats Harvard 63-52. Monmouth defeating Cornell 76-61. Penn over Central Connecticut State 87-65. Presbyterian defeating VMI 77-67. Prairie View defeating Jarvis Christian 84-69. Southeast Missouri State defeating Texas Rio Grande Valley 83-72. Wagner over American University 73-65. Middle Tennessee defeats Toledo 80-70. Marquette defeats IUPUI 104-79. Northwestern State over LSU Alexandria 82-69. Georgia Tech over Sam Houston State 81-73. Houston defeating South Dakota 85-58. Alabama Birmingham defeating George Washington 81-74. Wisconsin over Georgetown 73-57. Elkhorn defeating Blue Mountain 83-57. Minnesota over Arkansas 85-71. Houston Baptist defeating Excelsior 116-80. Memphis over McNeese 104-65. Western Kentucky defeating North Carolina A&T 77-56. Kansas State over Robert Morris 61-40. Charleston Southern defeats Abilene Christian 66-65. Lamar University over Texas San Antonio 78-58. Omaha defeating Buena Vista 112-65. Chicago State over East West University 103-75. East West University. There you go. Purdue over Utah State 85-64. Southern University over Tennessee Tech 80-68. Pepperdine defeats Little Rock 66-65. Arkansas State over SIUE 75-57. Jacksonville State over Dalton State 81-50. Fort Wayne over Indiana 71-68. Air Force defeats Stetson 85-72. Tulsa over Oregon State 75-64. Southern California defeating New Orleans 88-54. SMU over UC Santa Barbara 84-57. New Mexico State defeats Nicholls State 86-74. North Dakota State over Wolford 83-52. Eastern Washington defeats Seattle University 80-76. Kansas over Georgia 65-54. St. Mary's of California defeating San Jose State 81-64. Pacific over Wyoming 73-65. Cal State Bakersfield defeating Fresno State 71-63. UNLV over Northern Arizona 110-71. San Diego over Bethune-Cookman 96-91. And North Carolina defeating Oklahoma State 107-75. And finally, Washington defeating Long Beach State 94-88. And those are the scores from Wednesday. Now, taking a look at what's going on basketball-wise. Wichita State taking on LSU, and Cleveland State taking on Kentucky. Those games underway. Wichita State and LSU, that game is set for 12 o'clock. Cleveland State and Kentucky for 1 o'clock. Wichita State, LSU on ESPN2. Cleveland State and Kentucky on the SEC Network. Then at 2:30, it's going to be VCU and Baylor on the ESPN2. And then at 5 o'clock, we've got Michigan and South Carolina on ESPNU. And 7 o'clock, we got 7 games for 7 o'clock. Lucky sevens, here we go. Jackson State and Ohio State, ESPN3. Colgate and Penn State, Big Ten Network. Charleston and Villanova, FS1. William and Mary taking on Duke on ESPNU. St. John's and Michigan State. We also have Arkansas. That game is on AXS. I don't know what network that is, but Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Siena, ESPN3. Also Binghamton and Florida Gulf Coast, ESPN3. Those are the 7 o'clock games. Now for 7:30, Coastal Carolina, Wake Forest on the ACC Network. 8 o'clock, it's Cal Poly and Northern Illinois. 9:30, Louisville and Old Dominion. Cal Poly, Northern Illinois on ESPN3. Louisville and Old Dominion on AXS Network. That's 8 and 9:30. 11 o'clock, Buffalo taking on Alaska Anchorage, CBS Sports Network. And at 1:30, it's Oakland and Nevada, also on the CBS Sports Network. That is at 1:30. And for those that have been following the Maui Invitational, the final is today at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, ESPN2, and it's going to be Wisconsin and North Carolina. And, of course, they got the Fight for Atlantis. We'll give you information on that tomorrow. So thank you for tuning in, and if you'd like to be a sponsor, we're looking for someone to sponsor the College Sport Check Basketball Scoreboard. Give us a call, Community Radio, 631-619-6611. Talk and text, and also email as well, but you go to communityradioli.com. Thank you for tuning in. This is Manny Allegorda. This is College Sport Check Basketball, 7 days a week.